This is the chart that I made. It's available at crochetcabana.com on the continuous join page, and it shows you the direction in which you're going to travel as we put together this group of squares. Here's the squares. This is a queen size bed that I have them laid out on. We're going to start here at this corner and go in this fashion. Of course, we have more than 4 squares here. I have 7 by 8 6-inch squares for this afghan. I'm going to use Vanna's Choice yarn. Here it is for my join. That is beige. You can see it there. Okay. Now, if you are left-handed, there's also a chart on the page for those who are left-handed. And they would start on the opposite side here and go this way. The instructions will be the same except that you're going in a different direction. I like a center pull skein of yarn, but Vanna's Choice is not a center pull, so I sort of make it a center pull. This is, when you get the skein, usually there's one strand that's stuck in there. That's where they end. And what I do is I go into the opposite end, and I kind of put my fingers in both ends, kind of feel around, and try to get the end and pull it out. That one worked pretty well. See, this is now a center pull. Sometimes when you do this, you get a big chunk of yarn that comes out, and then maybe it's not as helpful as it could be. But here's what we're going to do. We have our chart here that reminds us in which direction we're going to go. We're going to start here in the corner. That's this square here, square number 1. And we're going to make a full corner, 3 double crochets, chain 3, 3 double crochets. I call these 3 double crochets a shell. So we have along our sides, we have shell, chain 1, shell, chain 1. Then in our corners we have 3 chains between the shells. There's 5 rounds on each square, and they're about 6 inches in size. Okay, so we're going to start here. We're going to go down this side, come around here on this square. Then we're going to join this square to it, come around here, go down here, and so forth, and continue on until we get to the end. Now when we get to this brown square, the last one, we're going to join this row, and then we're going to go down here in this manner. To number 4, there's our arrow, tells us to go here. So we're going to go to this square here. Okay, here is our first square. It's kind of a gray square. I've got my slip knot on my hook. Now we know that we're going to start here on our first square, so we're going to go down one side and the other side, and then we're going to be attaching. So I'm going to attach my yarn to this corner with a slip stitch. We're going to chain 3. I'm going to do 2 double crochets, chain 3, work 3 more double crochets. This will be our first corner. It's also going to be our last corner. Because if you look at our square, when we come back around, this will be the last thing that we do, and it will attach here. So we're going to chain 1. We're going to work a shell between these 2 shells. In other words, we're going to work into a space. This is working around the chain 1 space if you were writing a pattern. And we're going to make a shell of 3 double crochets here. And we're going to chain 1, and we're going to do the same thing across this row. That's my last chain 1. Now we're at a corner. So since we're going to do this side, do this corner, and then we're going to do one more side, we're going to do a full corner here, which is 3 double crochets, chain 3, 3 double crochets. Chain 1, and we're going to do our shells between shells along this side. You want to make sure that your yarn is flowing smoothly. Okay, now we're at our last corner. We don't want to make a full corner there because our goal, we look at our paper, our goal is to now connect 1 and 2, squares 1 and 2. So we did 1, 2 sides. Now we're going to connect this square to the other side. Our next square is going to be a gold square. So what we're going to do is we're going to make half of our corner. We're going to do 3 double crochets. I'm going to chain 1. Then I'm going to take my second square, right side facing me. Remember, we were working on the right side of this other square. Now as I turn it, my wrong side of my first square is facing me. My right side of my new square is facing me. I'm going to join with a single crochet, and I'm going to chain 2 and work the second half of my corner on my yellow square. Okay. Now normally I would chain 1 here, but I'm not going to chain 1. I'm going to work this chain single crochet around the first chain 1 of my other square. See, this is the end of my square. This is where we've joined. So we're going to go into this space here with a single crochet, and then we're going to work on our yellow square, our gold square. We're going to make 3 double crochets in the next chain 1 space on the yellow square. Now instead of doing a chain 1, we're going to go back to our first square. We're going to find the next chain 1 space right here. I'm going to make a single crochet there. That joins the 2 squares together. And we're going to make another double crochet, 3 double crochets on the yellow square, the gold square. Now you see what we're doing here? We're using that chain 1 space of the first square as our join point. So here we go again. Got another chain 1 space, and we make a single crochet. Then we come back to our gold, think it's called mustard, this color, I'm not positive. Okay, we've got a shell there. Now we're going to our next one. Chain 1, back to this one. Shell here. It's going to look like they're not coming out even, but they will. Chain 1 here. Then we're at the corner on the gold square, so we're going to make a shell here, 1 shell, 3 double crochets. We're going to chain 1. Normally we chain 3 in a corner, don't we? We're going to chain 1. We're going to join to the corner of the previous square. We're going to chain 1 again, so that's 1, 2, 3. You have a chain, a single crochet, and a chain. And then we're going to come into the yellow square, and we're going to make our second shell. And now we've got to go along. Here, let's see what we've done. Come back here a little further. We've got this side done. We did this side. We joined to our gold or yellow. We went across here. Made our corner. And now we're going to go around, go down this row just like we did this one. We're going to go down this row like we did this one. And we're going to come around here. And then when we get to this point here, we're going to do just like we did here. So what I want to do here is chain 1. And make our shell between my 2 shells, just like we did along the corner. We're using double crochets. You have to know how to make a double crochet, a chain stitch, and a single crochet to work this pattern. Gotta pull some yarn out. Okay, we're back to a corner. This will be a full corner. We're going to come along this side. We're going to work this side until we get to the corner. We're not going to work another full corner. Okay, can you see what we have here? We have 2 squares joined together. I'm going to finish this side and then I'll be right back.